What if the very thing they tried to destroy was the very thing that saved you? In a village where every woman was born bald, one baby girl came into this world with a thick crown of black hair. They said she was blessed. But jealousy doesn't care about blessings. They drugged her. They humiliated her. They took the one thing that made her. But here is what they didn't know. You cannot cut the truth out of a woman who was never guilty. Stay with me, because this story will break your heart and rebuild it all in the same breath. If you love powerful African stories, you are in the right place. Subscribe to Tales by RM right now and hit that notification bell so you never miss a story like this one. There is a village that had carried its shame like a stone around its neck for longer than anyone could remember. A curse, not the kind whispered about around fires and quickly forgotten. A real curse, a living, breathing punishment that had been passed from mother to daughter, generation after generation. No woman in that village could grow hair, not a single strand. From the moment a girl was born, her fate was already written on her bare scalp. Bald, and bald forever. The women had made peace with it, as people often do with pain they cannot escape. They wrapped their heads in beautiful cloth. They held their chins high. But deep inside, every one of them ached for something different. Then, one ordinary evening, a baby was born, and she was not ordinary at all. Her name was Zara, and Zara came into this world already crowned with a thick, soft, impossibly beautiful head of black hair. The midwife froze. The mother gasped. The women who had gathered around the bed emotionally pressed their hands to their mouths and wept. Not from sadness, from something they hadn't felt any very long time. Hope. But joy in this life is never allowed to stay pure for too long. Before Zara could even learn to walk emotionally, both her parents were gone. Just like that. Two souls who had barely had time to fall in love with their miracle child. Zara was taken in by her aunt, Mama Vero, a woman who smiled with her mouth and calculated with her eyes. And her cousin, also called Vero, who had inherited her mother's bitterness like a second skin. As Zara grew, so did her hair, long, dark, cascading rivers of it that flowed down her back and caught the light like something sacred. She was kind, she was gentle, she worked hard without complaint, and every single day, her aunt and her cousin watched her and hated her a little more.
Then came the day everything shifted. The village oracle, an ancient woman whose eyes looked like they had seen things no living person should see, summoned the entire village together. No one refused. You do not refuse a summons from a woman like that. And when everyone had gathered, the oracle spoke.
My children, heed the whispers of the ancients. The spirits guide us through this twilight.
She told them the truth that had been buried for generations. Long, long ago, an innocent woman had been accused of killing her own husband. A lie, a terrible, vicious lie spoken by cowards who feared her strength. But the village believed it. They dragged her out, they shaved her head in the village square for all to see, and then they threw her out like she was nothing. And in her pain, in that moment, unbearable, undeserved humiliation, she turned and she cursed them. She cursed every woman who came after them. Baldness forever. The village was silent. Some people looked at the ground. Some wept because they knew. They had always known, somewhere deep inside, that they had brought this on themselves. But then the oracle's voice changed. It softened, and she raised one withered hand and pointed straight at Zara. She said, "This child is the chosen one. Her purity, her goodness, her unbroken spirit, these things alone have the power to lift the curse. She is destined to marry the prince. She is destined to become queen, but only if she remains pure. Only if no one takes that from her." Zara stood there, overwhelmed and trembling, not fully understanding what her life had just become. But two people in that crowd understood perfectly, Mama Vero and our daughter Vero. And what settled into their hearts in that moment was not celebration, it was a plan. This story is gripping you right now? Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And make sure you are subscribed to Tales by RM for more African stories that will move your soul.
Jealousy is patient. That is what makes it so dangerous. It does not strike wildly. It waits, it watches, it learns your schedule, your habits, your weaknesses. And then it moves. Mama Vero had been watching Zara for years. She had watched her work before dawn to fetch water. She had watched her walk through the heat of the day without rest. She had watched her come home every evening, trembling voice, exhausted, bone-tired, and still find kindness for everyone around her. And it made her sick. So, Mama Vero devised a plan so wicked, so calculated, that it takes your breath away just to think about it. One evening, when Zara dragged herself through the door after a long day of chores, her aunt was waiting, smiling that smile of hers, holding out a cup. "Here, my dear, you've worked so hard. Drink this." Zara, trusting, innocent Zara, took the cup. She drank, and the world went dark. The drink had been drugged. While Zara lay unconscious, Mama Vero moved quickly and without mercy. She arranged everything. She placed a strange man, a man she had paid, next to Zara's unconscious body. And then she went to wake the neighbors. When Zara opened her eyes, the world was chaos. There were voices, screaming, stones flying past her face. She couldn't understand. She didn't know where she was. "What is happening? What did I do? Please, listen to me. I don't know this man." But no one listened. No one wanted to listen, because Mama Vero had already told the story first, and the crowd had already decided what they believed. Zara wept. She pleaded. She called on every name she knew. But the louder she cried her innocence, the louder they shouted her guilt. And then Mama Vero stepped forward. She stood before the crowd. She spoke with the authority of a judge. She declared calmly, coldly, without a single tremor of guilt, that Zara had disgraced the village, and that her punishment would be this: her hair would be cut. You could hear Zara's cry cut through the air like a blade. "No, please, not my hair. Please don't do this. I am innocent, please." But Mama Vero did not flinch. She pinned Zara down with help from the crowd. She picked up the blade, and one by one, lock by lock, she cut away every last strand of Zara's beautiful hair. When it was done, Zara sat in the dirt with her bare scalp exposed to the sky and wept until she had no tears left. And Mama Vero stood over her with a smile that only the truly wicked can manage. Satisfied. Zara was cast out, alone, humiliated, stripped of everything. Or so they thought. Because weeks later, something began to happen. The women who had been watching Zara from a distance noticed it first. Zara's scalp was not bare anymore. Something was growing. Fine at first, like a shadow on skin. Then thicker. Then unmistakably, hair. The elders knew what this meant. Ancient law, old as the curse itself, had always said, if the hair of a falsely accused woman is cut, it will grow back. It will always grow back. Because the truth cannot be shaved away.
The village gathered again. This time the energy was different. There was no shouting mob, no stones, just silence and shame and the undeniable sight of Zara's hair growing back thicker and longer than it had ever been before. The man who had been paid to lie looked at Zara's hair, looked at the elders, and broke. He confessed everything, every detail, the money, the drugged drink, Mama Vero's instructions, word for word. The crowd turned. Mama Vero, who had stood so confidently in this same square not long ago, now shrank back as the truth closed in around her like a storm. She tried to speak. But what does a liar say when every lie has been stripped away? She and her daughter were disgraced, completely, publicly, irreversibly. And then, as if heaven itself had been waiting for this exact moment, the prophecy moved. Zara married the prince. In a ceremony that the whole kingdom came to witness, she stood at the altar with her long hair flowing free, her head held high. A woman who had been tried by fire and had not burned. And the moment they were pronounced husband and wife, a sound rose from the crowd. Gasps, then screams, then laughter and weeping all at once. Because every woman in the village, every girl who had ever touched her bare scalp and wondered why, felt it. Something soft, something warm, something growing. The curse was broken. And Zara became queen. And she ruled, not with bitterness, not with revenge, but with the deep, unshakable grace of a woman who had survived the worst and chosen to remain good anyway. Mama Vero and her daughter, they served in the palace. Every single day they looked at the queen they had tried to destroy, the woman who had become everything. And they understood, too late, what envy had cost them. They cut her hair. They humiliated her. They cast her out. But they could not cut her truth. Because that is the thing about real innocence. It does not need your protection. It does not need you to fight for it every day. It just needs time. And it will always find its way back. Zara's story is not just a story about hair or a village or a wicked aunt. It's a story about every woman who has ever been falsely accused. Every person who has ever been stripped of something precious by the hands of someone they trusted. Every soul that has ever sat in the dirt, bare and broken, and wondered if they would ever be whole again. You will. The hair grows back. It always does. If this story touched you, if it moved something inside you, please like this video and leave a comment below. Share this with someone who needs to hear today. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Tales by RM and turn on notifications. Every story we tell is made with love, just for you. Thank you for watching. We'll see you